Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. We have finally seen the entire contents of set 21 Wild Resurgence, but we haven't gone through all the cards here on the channel. So today, with it being Friday, we're taking the time to do all the remaining cards. I think it's like 5 or 6 cards left, most of which are multicolor, so we'll go over those in today's video. I'll give you my thoughts on their competitive viability. That being said, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to buy any of the cards we talk about in today's video, or any trading cards at all for that matter for any game, it does really help me out if you use my link in the description to TCG Player. I really do appreciate it as always, guys. Anyways, let's take a look at some of these cards. We are starting off with the final SCR we have not yet talked about, Goku Peace Resolution. So this is the god rare art of the card that apparently a lot of people are hating on. Now, my personal opinion, I actually like it. It looks like they went with like the hand-drawn manga version of like, you know, Goku in this form because it looks way more kind of like grainy, but not like in a bad way. It just, again, looks hand-drawn, which me having a comic book coming out, I can certainly appreciate that. It also looks like they went with a certain color on the effect text, which is interesting too, but I think it kind of meshes well with the card art. So overall, I like it. I always thought Goku with the angel wings looked pretty cool, even though most of the time in like Otherworld that we see Dragon Ball media, they don't have wings, they just have the halos if anything else. But still, I like it. I don't know, just my opinion. But let's go over the card and talk about its competitive viability. We have an 8 cost 40k ultimate permanent. If this card's front is facing up in your Z deck, your leader gets plus 20k power. And if that card is not a Son Gohan childhood, negate that card's skills. Okay, so just from that first permanent, very strange way this card is going to function. Face up in your Z deck. My Yu-Gi-Oh players out there, how similar is that to pendulum cards, right? Super weird. Now, your leader gets 20k power while this is in your Z deck, but your leader loses all its skills if it's not a Gohan childhood. So that seems like it can maybe be like a double-edged sword. We'll have to kind of wait and see what the rest of the effect does. So we have the auto for green. If your leader is a green Saiyan, Earthling, or Namekian, when this card is used in a combo, stop real quick. So this costs 1 to combo and has an energy cost to activate. So it's a 2 cost during a combo. Choose one of your leader cards and switch to active mode. That card gains triple strike for the battle. So you're getting a dual attack, triple strike on that first swing. Then place this card from your drop in your Z deck face up at the end of that battle. Then remove this card from your Z deck from the game at the end of your opponent's turn. Okay, so for my initial reading of this, it's pretty interesting because it seems like a card that kind of works offensively and defensively, which with most SCRs, I would say they're a little bit more one-sided. You have cards like Baby Hatch that are pure defense. You have cards like a lot of other SCRs, to be honest, that are way more offense focused and kind of game ending. But this one is definitely kind of splitting the middle and doing a little bit of both. So with like Champa and East Kai, the double strike granters being banned, this card granting triple strike is definitely super interesting. It also restands the leader, but it only gives triple strike during the battle in which you use this effect. In which case you could like use this ability during another battle to restand your leader, but you wouldn't get the triple strike as far as I'm understanding this. So negating the leader swing is going to be a real big pain for this SCR specifically. But if you do combo on another attack, you will restand your leader, and I believe the Gohan Z leader is a base double strike anyway that can get up to 20-25k rather easily. So that's still pretty big damage. And then you have the defensive capabilities of this thing giving your leader 20k, which is honestly almost like a baby hatch. Like if you're going into your opponent's 40k leader, come on, you're most likely not doing damage to them that turn. So it's almost, again, like a built-in Champa, but slightly better for 2 energy gain triple strike. We always talked about what if there was a Champa that granted triple strike, but would it cost 2 energy? Would it have 0 combo power? Like, this is actually kind of answering that question, which is kind of cool. And then it gives the 20k power, which again is sort of like on the level of like a baby hatch. Obviously, you can be dealt damage, but it's going to be very difficult to do. Now, one thing I saw people talking about with this card is that you can Z energy it before the end of battle auto resolves, basically, so that you don't put it face up in your Z deck, and obviously you would lose out on the 20k power, but you also wouldn't have to remove this card from the game at the end of turn. So by putting in your Z energy, you can then use it as a Z energy and put it in the drop, and then there's a Goku 6 drop that evolves over bunch of 5-drop Gokus. I know I'm butchering because I don't know the name of the card, but basically that card combos a green card from the drop area, and then you can theoretically continuously use this ability as long as you have the energy to pay for it over and over again. Now, I don't know if that's actually proper usage of the card. I know that Z energy generation comes before end of battle autos, but this is an auto that takes place at the time of using the effect. So can you charge the energy? I would say probably, just based on my knowledge. And then I guess you can keep doing that stuff over and over and over again, but is it going to be worth the investment of trying to do this, where this costs at least 1 energy every time you combo from the drop area? Your opponent could be continuously negating your leader attack for how many turns they can do that. That's another question. This card is super interesting. I guess I'll just get to my opinion on it rather than just like talking about all the endless possibilities. This card is super interesting. I like the fact that it's dual natured in offense and defense. I don't know if it's going to be the go-to SCR for green decks, because right now they're bouncing around between quite a few. You've got Cell Xeno, you've got Cell Max, maybe like Primal Carnage just for like that instant barrier removal. This card doesn't necessarily offer any of those types of things, but it is a really big game-ending push. Super interesting for sure. I think this card could be quite good. All right, now let's talk about our green-yellow cell support. So we saw with the green cell archetype, there is a 3-cost cell that allows you to use your opponent's Android 17 and 18s for your own successor skills, and now we finally see the successor cards. So let's take a look. We have Cell Longing for Perfection, 4-drop 20k, and this is cool because we didn't see any second form Cell in that actual archetype, so now we have it here in the form of a multicolor card. So we have EX Evolve for a green over a green cell with energy cost of 3, of which that deck has 3 different ones. Permanent, if your leader's a green cell and you have a green android in your energy other than this card, negate this card's energy exhaust in all areas. And then permanent, if your leader is a green android, you have a cell in play, reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. So basically a check land and a free combo all in one with blocker on top. However, unless something goes over this, I don't know if like that's going to be super important. But let's take a look at Cell Ultimate Life Form of Despair. We have a 9-drop 30k, energy exhaust, double strike, dual attack, successor for 3, permanent. If your leader is a green cell and you have a green android in your energy other than this card, negate this card's energy exhaust in all areas. So yeah, these things being completely free check lands pretty much is definitely really cool. Auto, this card is played using a successor skill that was activated by choosing one or more each of Android 17, Android 18, and Cell for their skill costs. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, add up to 1 Cell's full power Kamehameha from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So we know that the Z leader allows you to use Cell's full power Kamehameha for free, so that's actually really powerful. A rather cheap-ish play, playing it for 3. It might cost you most of your energy on a given turn, but still in getting the full power Kamehameha that you can ideally use for free is definitely super interesting. Obviously, you want to lean into the cell that lets you use your opponent's cards for successor fodder. That's going to be the main way to do this. I'm just not seeing where like Cell Longing for Perfection really like plays into the equation. It doesn't seem like a card you have to play. However, if you want to play some Arrival shenanigans, if you want to play a variant like that, that's where I guess that card can be kind of useful. All right, then we have Android 16 Companion for Desperation. We have a 4-drop 15k energy exhaust permanent. If your leader's an Android 16 or blue android, you get this card's energy exhaust in all areas. So that is actually going to be mostly useful for the new green Android 16 leader, because as was pointed out to me, not a lot of the current Android check lands will actually work for a green leader. Most of them specify you need a blue Android leader. So this one will actually work as a check land for the new green Android 16 leader. Activate main limit 1 for a green if your leader is a blue or green Saiyan or android, and definitely including Saiyan there for the new green Gohan archetype, and your opponent has 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand, activate main, KO this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 5 or less, and KO it. Yeah, I'm not really seeing this as like any sort of like great card. It's a 1-cost 15k for simply playing a Saiyan or android leader, but that's not super impressive in and of itself. It is going to be a check land, again, for the green Android 16 deck, where it might be necessary in that strategy. But besides that, I don't see this as like a great, just like general multicolor card. So that's going to be my opinion on it. Not so great for most situations. Then we have Beerus, Judge of Ruin, one of our SRs for the set. We have a 6-drop 25k energy exhaust, deflect, double strike, arrival, red, yellow for a red and a yellow permanent. If your leader is a red god, negate this card's energy exhaust in all areas. So that'll work for the red Beerus leader as well as the red Great Priest leader. Then we have auto. When this card is played, draw 1 card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and it gets minus 20k power for the turn. Okay, so this card I think is actually quite powerful. So the check land again is always good. I think that's probably going to be a pretty standard thing on most new multicolor cards, because energy exhaust is just way too slow for the modern era of DBS. But anyways, when playing this card, you're gonna get a lot of interruption. So firstly, replacing itself is excellent. Then you get like 2 forms of interruption, one being a battle card tap, so something that has not attacked yet, you tap it, now no longer have to deal with that swing. And then also getting a minus 20k on a battle card or unison, also really good. The minus 20k obviously will take a marker off most unisons or just kill a battle card that's 20k or less. I do kind of wish that the ability to tap something also allowed you to hit unisons, because without things like Power over Super Saiyan, we do miss out on quite a bit of that with like some of the more threatening unisons. And I think this card would have been totally appropriate to do that, because it does cost 2 at the end of the day. It is kind of steep, and you're playing red-yellow, which historically has been not one of the best multicolors. It's had its formats, but you know, ever since Surge Goku, it's not really been super great. But overall, I do think this is a good card, and if we do get more red-yellow support, maybe a reboot Red Beerus Leader or something, this card will certainly be a staple. Very, very good card for what it's doing. Then we have Whis Angel's Teachings. We have a 6-drop, 15k, Energy Exhaust, Arrival, red-blue for a red or a blue. Permanent, if you have a red-blue multicolor card other than this card in your energy, negate this card's Energy Exhaust in all areas. Auto, when this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less and return it to the owner's hand. Some of the worst removal in Dragon Ball Super. But let's keep on reading. Activate Battle Limit 1. If your leader is a mono red card, and you discard 1 card from your hand during your opponent's turn. When your opponent's battle card or unison attacks during that turn, choose one of your cards, and that card gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. So overall, this card feels super unimpressive to me. So you can basically arrival it in and activate battle for free, pitch a card, and that card you pitch is essentially going to be a 10k combo. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it. I guess the mid-battle removal is also not bad, but it only hits super specific things. Like, you can cheese a rush attack Vegeta with this, I guess, if they don't preemptively release the activate main. But yeah, I mean, this is clearly support for mono red U7 Invoker. So I'm definitely curious for those players. I don't really play this deck much at all, to be honest. So I am curious for you guys out there, like, does this card actually serve a purpose? Like, maybe the Energy Exhaust being negated is like a really big thing for the deck, so it has access to that blue energy. But I'm just not really seeing it with this card. So overall, I mean, definitely a little bit of a roller coaster of different opinions on cards with the multicolors as well as the secret rare, the final secret rare for the set. But those are my thoughts, guys. Of course, I want in the comments below what you think about these cards. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.